this one started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. And now before the play clock runs out, Brian Flores is going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Got a man open, that's Devontae Parker, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Thrown to Parker, complete on the slant. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. Now the former Washington Husky. Here's Myles Gaskin. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. Room to run for Gaskin. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? I mean, let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll run now with Gaskin, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Touchdown, Dolphins! Mike Gesicki on the pass from Tua Tagovailoa. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Many would call that a gutsy decision here early on to go for it, 4th and goal. There was no hesitation. Field goal unit never sniffed the field.
It was a message, and the message was, I trust you on offense. Go out and make this happen. Go ahead and pick it up. You know what else he said? I trust my defense as well. If they don't get it, I know you're going to hold them. So it's a message to your entire team that you believe in them.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here's Scott to return it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed, getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
2nd and 2. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Play action. Here's Hurts. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 8-0 our score with 2 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. On first down, Hurts. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders punching it in from a yard away. And the Eagles move back within a couple of the lead. Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as he'll go for 2. Hurts will throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. I know it's still just the first half, but we'll see if that 2 points looms large later.
I would have kicked it. And I know that they were trying to equal the score, but sometimes you kind of get seduced into that. It's the first half. Kick the extra point and continue to play so you don't have to chase points later.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Gaskin. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off, and he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Tua, the final shot before half. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run with Sanders. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6.
They'll look to throw here. Smith catches left side.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
56 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly. And that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders, and he's going to get this inside the 30.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Now on 1st down, Sanders not finding a whole lot as he'll get forward for about 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
try to punch it in with Howard. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as he'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing now is Tungable. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Parker. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Tua on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run with Sanders. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
On 2nd down now. It's Sanders, and he's across for a touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He knocks it through, and he extends the lead to 21-8.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So that'll back him up 5.